Hi, good day. Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about the FTP enumeration. We'll be talking about SMB. We've talked about SMB map and what they do in our previous video. We'll be able to enumerate them and understand how all attacking method in penetration step testing from reconnaissance to footprinting, the way they interchangeably help us to enumerate our targets. So without further ado, let's dive into FTP enumeration. So what is FTP? It's a protocol. FTP is actually a protocol that runs on port 21. It is used to upload for file transfer from one location on the internet between computer systems. Basically what that protocol exactly does for us. We have SSH for 22 that you will remotely connect to your system whatsoever. You have a whole lot. We have SMB map. We have like the connect printer and all. So every of these protocol, that is why we need to know the port numbers. It helps in differentiating the protocols when we start to use them on our network, or when we start to work with them. We have to know the port numbers as we go. So let's dive into enumerating FTP. So I'll be sharing my lab. This is the lab we'll be using today for this exercise. So first and foremost, we still need to use our Nmap to enumerate, to know the ports that are on this IP. We have a target IP we need to work with. Yes, so we are going to let's know our IP address. The first thing first is to understand our network. So this is our IP address 192.1.5.12 and .2. So the target server is .3, which we'll be working with today. We'll continue with our Nmap, where we use the service scan and the service scan and the version scan to know this FTP version. What version is it running on? We need to know that before we continue. We need to take every of our scans step by step, and this is how we go. Now, you can see that it is running on version 1.3.5a of the Pro FTP. So, and it tells us that this port is open as we continue to enumerate, continue to have fun. So we have the servicing for OS Unix. So what are we doing next? Let's try to do FTP 192.195.12.3. They give us same results. We're connected, asking us for the root login, but basically we don't have information of how this thing is to go. So we've been able to know from this scan, we could deduce the version of this FTP. We could deduce that it is a Unix OS. So these informations are very important, and we are moving forward. We do not have the password or the login. So what do we want to do now? We have Hydra. Hydra is a is a tool. So let's see. Let me let me share my screen. Every time you do, whenever you do not have an idea of a particular tool, you can just do man of the tool on your Kali Linux or whatever Linux-based system you're using. Whatever Kali, yeah, Kali, what you're using. This is Hydra. Now we have Hydra to be a cracker, a login cracker, and we have any informations about it, descriptions. When you read about it, you understand that Hydra can help you perform a brute force attack. So this is what we want to do now by performing a brute force attack on this machine, on this IP array. This is our target. So when we run this command, and this is the command we run. Okay, if you don't understand, this is the Hydra, and we are listing. Then you see it's giving us student it's giving us information, we've able to brute it's so fast because maybe the password is that's what we need. Whenever you choosing a password, it must come. That is why we say there are rules for choosing a password or a login information, so that it will be very difficult for software or tool like Hydra to crack them. You see how easy this was to generate the login and password of the hosts that are on this IP, on this our target IP. So we have the list option. If we go to the information we have about Hydra, we'll find out that there are this is the login file, the password file options. There are so many add-on arguments that we can add to using Hydra. So we use this login option, and it has been easy for us to generate the logins, of every users that are on this host. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 listed now, and it's keep trying, giving us information that we needed, that we need to have access to this FTP host. So without any further ado, we've already gotten reasonable information of what we need. We already even have the administrator login and password. So what is as easy as that? Keep pushing. Don't give up when you when you're performing a penetration test. So basically, we can actually use Nmap to enumerate with this information that we've gotten to enumerate the login. So what can we do? We have a user that is sysadmin and password to be this for 321. But we have the login and we don't know the password. The same way we can use mmap script to enumerate the password. And this is how we do it. We use echo sysadmin. So we are putting this sysadmin into a user into a user file in order for us to be able for our Nmap script to read this. So with this function, we are using users. It can be anything, but for Nmap script to read our information without stressing ourselves, we use the users. So basically, what we're going to do now is to brute force this our host using the users. So this is the Nmap script you can use for FTP brute force. It's a generated tells us there is a valid credentials, and this is the password. This is the username. You see how interesting it is. You say, when you log in, you come in through a door, even when you don't have the key, you know the pattern of how the person uses it. Or let's say the person you have a fingerprint you've already cloned from the user, and to authenticate, you're able to put in your the cloned fingerprint to open the door. See as it goes. So we keep moving already. Yes. So this is a valid credential. Our information is valid. So we keep moving. We already got what we wanted. So it's time to now log in into our FTP host. Now you do FTP, then the IP, which is 192.195.12.3. So it's asking for the username. So we want to try to use the sys. We have information of login, series of login we can use to access this FTP host. So let's try to use the sysadmin, and the password is 654321. We are logged in. Can list secret. We have secret.txt. Let's do get. Want to get this secret file from this FTP host. So we've gotten it, and we can say goodbye to our FTP server. You can do a different things on it. So we can actually say this is a less privileged account. We did not log in as the administrator account that we found the other time from this information, which Hydra had helped us with. But let's try our luck. Invalid command, you see, because this user does not have this privilege to perform this function. This function configured. You see, so the user does not have this privilege, but we've already gotten this secret.txt, whatever it is inside, we don't know yet. So let's say bye-bye to our FTP and now cut the secret.txt file that we downloaded. So this is the information gotten from it. So it is really interesting if we are able to perform a whole lot of um, a whole lot of attacks, different methods, different. The joy comes when you are able to perform a penetration test, and this went well. You're able to access. Already we've gotten the information needed. We got the login, the password, whatever information that is moving on this protocol, and it is not encrypted. This is the way we are going to actually have access to it, pick it and read it out. So we need to know how to mitigate, how to close all these ports for being accessed from the outside attacker or someone that is planning to breach. So this is all we have on FTP. Just as easy as that, we're able to access it, log in, full information. What do we need that we've not already gotten? And it made our work easy. To recap, we logged in. No, to recap, we were able to do know the IP address of this FTP using just from your host network. Would use the IP option of A to have our target machine IP address. From this IP address, we were able to use Nmap to scan and see if this port in question is open. That is why Nmap comes in play. You do service scan, you do version scan, you do a verbal scan, a whole lot of scan you can do with Nmap. And moving on, we were able to use Hydra to brute force this login. We did not know earlier, we did not know the password, we did not know the username, but we're able to brute force and we're able to access this. From there, we have to move these credentials into a user file and use Nmap script to test and to confirm that this login that we've gotten is actually a valid credential, and we're able to get that it is a valid credential. And from there, using the valid credential to log on, as easy as that, when we log on, we were able to get the files in it. If it's an environment where we have a lot of files, that is how easy we are going to be able to read those files. Sometimes most of these files that are not encrypted, we could be able to see maybe users' information files moving from one point to another. As crazy it can be and interesting as it can be, it's also for the penetration tester. Thank you for watching. In our next video, we'll continue on how to do enumeration on different protocol. Bye.